The post office sacked me and wrongly chased me for debt while I had breast cancer. This was Mary Fisher, 73 years old. And we're going to read into this exclusive for My News, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an exclusive for My News with the headline that the post office sacked me and wrongly chased me for debt while I had breast cancer. The exclusive reveals that Mary Fisher, 73, had been given 12 months to live and was recovering from a mastectomy and chemotherapy when the post office dismissed her in 1999. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share this video across social media so that people are aware of it. Just as a bit of a caveat before I give my thoughts, it's not just Mary Fisher. They share a bit of, there's one or two other stories therein that we will be reading into as we read this article goes along, guys. And the reason why I'm covering this story again is I really want to remind people just how damaging, how inflicting that this has been on people's lives. I know most of you, like myself, have watched the ITV drama on it. But I think also just hearing more stories to remind ourselves the damage and the threshold that is taken on people. The very fact that also, and what really struck a chord with me, is those who committed suicide. As people who know me and have followed me here on the channel very well, I do have mental health issues, and it really does strike a real nerve with me when those who have done absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever, their lives completely turned upside down and destroyed at no fault of their own, and the whole world ignores them when they plead that they are innocent and they know they're innocent, and yet they're made to feel guilty, to be filled like everything's all their fault. And when you're in that state, that mental state, that really makes you feel like everyone is against you. It does take you down that path, and that is what's happened to some people. God forbid, I don't think we're going to read any in this article, but just the very thought of it is disheartening as it is. And this is in this story, just this story here. You know, this person here having breast cancer and trying to fight that, while also being chased by the post office as well. I mean, they're just the thing that really infuriates me a lot. So many things infuriate me about this scandal, guys, is because they knew that these people were innocent, but still intentionally chased them and destroyed their lives, and did everything they can to cover up as well. Continued to cover up long after they were destroyed their lives. Like all for the sake of money as well. All for the sake of money, and all for the sake of protecting an IT system above humanity, above human decency, above these people, and done nothing wrong. It's brutal, I know. So yeah, stick around, guys, because this won't be the only story we'll be talking about. So my former sub-postmistress claims she was sacked by the post office and pursued for debts caused by a second IT faulty system while being treated for breast cancer. So Mary Fisher, 73, had been given 12 months to live while trying to cope with the effects of undergoing a mastectomy. Sorry, I can't pronounce the name, guys. I apologise. And regular chemotherapy when the post office dismissed her in 1999. She told the Eye she was blamed for continuing shortfalls at her branch in Gentleshaw near Lichfield in Staffordshire, which began after a new computer system was installed. Literally right there, like after a new computer system is installed and there are shortfalls immediately. But no, it has to be Mary Fisher. It's not anything else. It's not the computer. It has to be her, even though she's been working there before. Like, no, they can't blame the system. They can't. Miss Fisher and her husband Terry believe it was Capture, a piece of black office accounting software rolled out in the 1990s. A string of former sub-postmasters have come forward to claim that they experienced unexplained shortfalls while trying to balance their books using Catcher. Documents shared with the Eye last week revealed that the Post Office knew Catchers suffered faults and was described as corrupt in bulletins sent out to staff as far back as 1995. It's 2024, by the way, guys, and we're talking about cases here going as far back as 1995. That's how much cover-up this is. But in a precursor to the Horizon scandal, which saw about 900 sub-postmasters prosecuted between 1999 and 2015, it is claimed the Post Office used Catcher evidence to pursue staff for missing money, sack them, and even criminal prosecute a decade earlier. Could this be as damning or worse than the Horizon scandal? Let me know what's more damning. This or the Catcher? This or Horizon, sorry. The Post Office said it is taking the claims very seriously, but is under mounting pressure to come clean with what it knows about the cases which predate Horizon. Campaigning MP Kevin Jones wrote to the government last week stating that he is shocked that we are only just beginning to scrape the surface of what seems to be a second scandal. Ms. Fisher claims that she received little support from the Post Office when she first received her cancer diagnosis in May 1998. They gave me 3 months sick pay, but I still had to pay all the bills and the wages of a relief manager to keep the post office open, so it was costing me, Fisher told the Eye. The shortfall went down from there. Eventually I said, forget it, I don't want the job anymore. They came back and said, you're not leaving, you're being dismissed. I didn't get my full salary. They didn't pay me my lottery commission. They said I still owed $4,500. That's so disgusting. Even after I left, we used to get nasty letters from the post office telling us that we had to pay the money back. I think if I hadn't had cancer, I would have been prosecuted for sure. Wow. That's just cold. Shane Froman, a former sub-postmaster from Brighton, told the Eye he spent 15 years paying back the post office for support shortfalls he experienced while using Catcher system between 1993 and 1996. On a Wednesday afternoon, I would be recounting everything. I would blame myself, thinking I must have miscounted something, he said. Mr. Rowan, now aged 58, ended up taking on a second job in a factory to repay the money he was losing at his post office, and recalls area managers showing little sympathy for his plight. My wife and I had to go through IVF to have a baby, he recalls. My son was born in 1994, and on the day my wife went into labour, the orders rang up to saying, "We're at your door." Wow. That's, on what was supposed to be a really special day, and they turn up on his door. I told them my wife was in labour, but they said, "You've got to be here." I said, "Do what you want, but I won't be there." They were horrible about it. My son was born that weekend, but they took that joy away from me. That's so outrageous. That is so outrageous. That is so outrageous. You can't take that moment. You only have it once. And they took that away from him. That's just... that's so disgusting. Unable to stop losing money, Mr. Rowan sold his post office in 1996, but was told he would need to repay about £12,000 in alleged debt. He borrowed three grand from his mother and offered to pay £50 a month, which was all he could afford. They accepted, but they still went to court. And got a county court judgment against me, said Mr. Rowland. When I sold the post office, I also sold my house because I couldn't afford it anymore. We were living with my brother for a while. Wow. Later on, we found a little house. I applied for a new mortgage. That's when I found out I had the CCJ. They didn't tell me. Mr. and Mrs. Fisher are among a growing group of former would like their names to be cleared. It drove us out of the village. People thought we had stolen from the post office, Miss Fisher added. It really blackened our names. People looked down on us, which we never ever taken it on. A spokesperson for the post office says we take these very, very serious concerns raised about cases before Horizon System first rolled out in 1999. We are investigating clues specific cases brought to our attention and will transparently publish our findings. So this is not the. I'm pretty sure this is not the first time I've covered this about Catcher. I think, but I'm pretty sure I believe I first covered a story on this. We're on Patreon, and at first it was one or two, but it's more and more people are coming forward now with regards to this Catcher system that looks like is more and more people are going to come forward. So we're looking at the possibility. We're looking at very, very possibility, guys, that not just one scandal here with one bad system, but we're looking at a second one now within the post office as more of this comes out, and you just think to yourself, you think to yourself, like, is the post office even worth keeping? And I think it just needs those responsible just need rooting out. It needs to be swept from top to bottom. Post office of people at the top specifically, because I don't know if the post office people of the day know as this far back. I don't know. I'm not going to assume that they know, but obviously the Horizon scandal was horrific, and these stories here, like, for them to been put through that. I mean, that gentleman being put through that on the day wife goes into labour and they're at his door, and I'm just thinking to myself, just how can you do that to such. Now maybe they didn't know. Obviously they didn't know his wife had gone into labour on that day, but it's just so despicable in every way, shape or form, innit? And we have to remember, people, that these are human beings with emotions and feelings, and their lives have been turned upside down, and let us not forget this scandal as well, guys. Let's make sure we keep an eye on this one, and not just the Horizon scandal. And the post office has a hell of a lot to answer for. Guys, let me know what you guys thought of this story, and the people involved in the comment section down below, how you feel about it. If any of you are former postmasters or sub-postmasters or worked at post offices, please let me know in the comment section down below. Eager to hear your thoughts as well. If you can, hit the like button, be greatly appreciated. Share this across social media and hit that bell notification icon so you'll be notified of when I upload another video. And if you want to financially support me, you can do so by joining me on YouTube membership for as little as 99p, or joining me on Patreon for exclusive content there. And by the way, you can see that content for free on Patreon. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.